He has confirmed that there will not be a Nike ad during Super Bowl. The expectation amongst a lot of people was that the Caitlin Clark shoes were going to be announced or leaked or something during Super Bowl. That being said,
Nike has just sent a powerful message to the basketball world without saying much at all. No Super Bowl commercial. No dramatic signature shoe reveal for Caitlin Clark during the biggest advertising event of the year. And when Nike stays quiet at a moment designed for global impact, it's rarely accidental. For a company that carefully times its product launches to dominate headlines, skipping that stage raises serious questions. Clark's signature shoe, originally expected in early 2025, now appears uncertain. The conversation has shifted from whether there's a delay to why it's happening and how long it could last. There are several possibilities. Production timelines for signature models can shift due to design changes, marketing strategy adjustments, or broader brand positioning decisions. Nike may be recalibrating how and when it wants Clark's debut to land. A signature shoe isn't just footwear. It's a long-term brand investment. Timing, storytelling, and cultural momentum all matter. Still, the silence is loud. In today's sports economy, perception shapes value. If momentum slows, speculation grows. The real question isn't just about a launch date, it's about strategy. Is Nike building anticipation for something bigger, or navigating behind-the-scenes complications? Either way, the delay has everyone watching closely.
it's one of those things where, when I come back to Caitlin Clark, where Caitlin Clark has just debuted a Kobe P. Like, she has another Kobe P. These ones probably have to release before Caitlin Clark's shoe gets released. Like, they wouldn't be... Like, she is the one debuting these. These are another Caitlin Clark Kobe P that she is advertising. There is no way that this PE is going to... Like, they're going to release this PE randomly, a Caitlin Clark PE of a shoe after she has her signature shoe, or within a month of her signature shoe.
Look at the timeline. When Aya Wilson's signature shoe was announced on February 4th, 2025, it hit the market in May. That's roughly a 3-month window from announcement to release, standard operating procedure for Nike. They don't surprise drop signature shoes for their premier athletes. They build anticipation. They roll out strategic marketing campaigns. They seed prototypes in games. They let cameras capture every close-up. It's a formula refined over decades. Now apply that same formula to Caitlin Clark. She's set to play for Team USA in about 5 weeks, with March qualifiers that function more like exhibitions. The US is already locked into the World Cup. These matchups aren't about survival. They're about visibility, chemistry, and momentum. From a branding standpoint, it feels like the perfect stage for a debut. National spotlight, controlled environment, guaranteed media coverage. But here's the issue. If Nike follows its typical 3-month runway, an announcement would need to happen immediately to align with an early summer release. And so far there's been nothing. No teaser, no campaign rollout, no Super Bowl reveal, despite 100 million viewers watching. For a company that thrives on timing and spectacle, that silence feels intentional. Either Nike is preparing a different launch strategy entirely, or something behind the scenes has shifted. Because if this were business as usual, we'd already be seeing the build-up.
Not having a Super Bowl commercial, it does make sense. Because look, Nike aren't going to want to release a signature shoe for somebody if there's no season. It's as simple as that. Like, I think the shoe's ready. Whether or not there's a WNBA season, the shoe's going to be released at some stage. Like, the shoe is going to be absolutely released. There could be no WNBA and the shoe is going to be released. I don't know what they do in general. I really don't know what they're going to do in general if there's no WNBA, because, like, what are they going to do when it comes to Caitlin's signature, Sabrina's signature, Aja's signature? Like, you can't have 3 signature athletes for a league that doesn't exist.
Whether Caitlin Clark officially has a signature page yet or not isn't really the point. Nike already has established signature athletes in the WNBA, Sabrina Ionescu and Aya Wilson. Sabrina's line is proven, as shoe just launched. Caitlyn was expected to be next in that natural progression. Instead, Caitlyn just debuted another Kobe P, another special edition of someone else's shoe with her name attached. And that detail says a lot about Nike's internal timeline. If her signature model were dropping within the next 30 days, she wouldn't be spotlighting a Kobe colorway right now. That's not how Nike builds momentum for a new signature franchise. You don't dilute your own launch window by having the athlete promote a different model right before the reveal. Signature rollouts are coordinated, deliberate, and protected. When the campaign begins, everything centers on that shoe, on-court wear, media appearances, social campaigns. The fact that Caitlyn is still cycling through Kobe PE suggests something else. This isn't build-up. It's a holding pattern. Nike clearly has a strategy, but right now the visual message is simple. Sabrina and Aya are in their signatures. Caitlyn isn't. And that gap feels intentional, not accidental.
Like months, I think, beforehand. I also want to check when the A'ja Wilson shoe was announced, because I have a video talking about it here, and I think it was announced in December or something. So, A'ja Wilson sneaker was announced on the 4th of February. It was announced on the 4th of February, and it released in May. I have a feeling that they probably planned on announcing the Caitlyn Clark shoe at least somewhat time around now. However, it's just not probably just not feasible with the with everything that's been going on, with there potentially being no season and with a lot of other things. So yeah.
And this is where the situation becomes even more complicated. There's the possibility of a WNBA strike on the horizon. The Players Association and the league are in the middle of CBA negotiations. And if those talks collapse, the 2025 season could be in jeopardy. From Nike's perspective, that uncertainty changes everything. You don't launch a signature basketball shoe tied to a league season that might not happen. A signature rollout depends on visibility, national broadcasts, packed arenas, highlight clips, social media moments. Without games, there's no consistent stage to showcase the product. Spending millions on marketing without guaranteed exposure simply isn't how Nike operates. This situation isn't comparable to the NBA lockout years ago. When the NBA paused, global superstars like LeBron, Durant, and Kobe still had international tours, overseas exhibitions, and massive worldwide followings to maintain momentum. The NBA brand extends globally in ways that allow signature athletes to remain visible, even without a season. The WNBA doesn't have that same infrastructure. If the season were canceled, players would lose their primary platform. No steady media cycle. No consistent national spotlight. No reliable promotional runway. So Nike faces a strategic dilemma. The shoe may be designed. Production could already be underway. But without certainty around the season, pulling the trigger on a full-scale launch becomes a significant risk.
Obviously, Nike won't return a Super Bowl 60 advertiser. I'm not really like, oh, why would they pay the money to announce their shoe then? It's like, well, it's the most people in the world. It is the most people in the world, and like it makes, or not most people in the world, most people in America, which is, let's be real. If you are advertising something for basketball, America might as well be the world. It genuinely might as well be the world, and I hate to say it in a lot of situations, but from marketing, as I know from advertising dollars, the gap between CPMs in America and otherwise, unless you are going for the English market, it's America. If you're English speaking, it's America, it might as well be the world. So yeah, what do you guys think?
Now let's break down what Nike likely had in mind from the beginning. Publicly, the company pointed to early 2025 as the target window. That phrase is flexible. It could mean January, February, March, even April. But if you line it up with the WNBA calendar, the smartest launch window would almost certainly be March or April. Why? Because the season tips off in May. A March announcement gives you time to build momentum during preseason storylines. Caitlyn could wear the shoe in training camp. Media outlets would zoom in on every detail. Then the official on-court debut could happen during opening night. A classic, perfectly synchronized product rollout. The Super Bowl would have been the ideal starting gun. 30 seconds during the most watched sporting event in America. reveal the shoe, show Caitlyn in action, flash the release date, then spend 8 weeks fueling anticipation, social campaigns, influencer seeding, controlled leaks of colorways, behind-the-scenes design stories. By the time May arrived, demand would be peaking. But that strategy depends entirely on one thing: a functioning season. Without games, there are no weekly highlights, no broadcast close-ups, no recurring national exposure. The marketing ecosystem collapses. Nike would essentially be launching a performance basketball shoe in a vacuum. And for what could be a $50 million signature investment, that's not a risk they're eager to take.
Who's going to be released or announced anytime soon? I personally don't know. I don't know. My expectation was that she would be playing in her shoe in the Team USA games in March. That is a near certainty to not be happening. And maybe they do what they used to do in football. So if you guys don't know what they used to do in football, like in soccer, or if you're American, teams used to wear their like next season jersey on the last game of the current season. So like they would release the next season's jersey for sale in like July, but there would be like one game. There'd be like one game at the end of the season where they wear a new jersey. Maybe the shoe won't be announced. Maybe, you know what? Maybe Caitlyn Clark will just shock drop the shoe, or shock announce the shoe. And I think that would be absolutely perfect. A perfect thing for
There's another factor that isn't being discussed enough. Caitlyn Clark isn't just another rookie. She's the biggest draw women's basketball has ever seen. Her first season drove record attendance, record ratings, and historic social media engagement. The surge wasn't subtle. It was measurable, undeniable, and transformative. Nike understands that better than anyone. Her contract was built around that gravitational pull. A signature shoe tied to Caitlyn isn't just a product launch. It's a cultural event. And you don't roll out a cultural event in the middle of labor uncertainty. If the league is consumed by strike headlines and CBA disputes, the narrative shifts instantly. Instead of conversations about innovation, design inspiration, and performance technology, the focus becomes labor tension and season instability. The shoe gets overshadowed. So Nike appears to be playing the long game. They're monitoring negotiations. They're protecting the moment. Keeping Caitlyn in Kobe Peace maintains her visibility without triggering a full-scale rollout. Player additions are flexible, low-risk, and quick to produce. They keep her present in the market without forcing a launch that might need to be delayed. Because once you announce a signature line, the clock starts. And Nike doesn't start clocks unless they're certain the stage is ready.
okay, yeah, she's playing with Kobe's in all the like pre-Team USA workouts, but she just pulls up first game of the World Cup qualifiers. They've already qualified for. By the way, these World Cup qualifiers, they win by 60 points. Like, Team USA could send out a college team and they'd win most of these games by 40 points. Like, it is, none of these games matter. None of these games matter in these qualifiers. And they're already qualified for World Cup. They could lose every single one of them and it doesn't matter. Like, it is literally just to get the team together. So, you're going to get these players together. And imagine if Caitlyn Clark shows up game one with new shoes. That would be like the perfect time to release. You don't even have to pay for advertising. Social media will do its thing.
There's precedent for this kind of strategy in global sports. In European football, clubs used to debut next season's jerseys during the final match of the current campaign. Players would wear the new kit once, spark conversation, and then the jerseys would officially go on sale weeks later. It was a teaser approach: create organic buzz first, monetize it second. Nike could easily apply that blueprint to Caitlyn Clark's signature shoe. Imagine this. She steps onto the floor for Team USA in March wearing a silhouette no one has seen before. No press release. No campaign. No formal announcement. Just a mystery shoe on the biggest name in women's basketball. Within minutes, sneaker blogs would post screenshots. Social media would zoom in on every angle. Fans would debate whether it's a player exclusive or her long-awaited signature model. That kind of speculation can generate enormous engagement, sometimes even more than a polished Super Bowl commercial, because it feels authentic rather than orchestrated. The beauty of that soft launch strategy is flexibility. If the WNBA season proceeds as planned, Nike can formally announce the shoe in April and release it in May, riding the preseason hype. If the season collapses due to CBA negotiations, Nike has an overcommit. No official date means no public delay. They simply adjust the timeline quietly. Still, let's be honest. This is a disruption. However it's framed, the original early 2025 plan has clearly shifted. We're already deep into February. If a March release were realistic, the marketing engine would be running. Signature launches today require weeks of build-up. Teasers, athlete interviews, influencer seeding, retail coordination. That machine isn't moving. The looming labor negotiations are the most obvious reason. Nike cannot confidently launch a basketball performance shoe without guaranteed basketball. But there's likely more at play. Over the past year, Nike has been restructuring its basketball division. Tightening athlete rosters, reallocating budgets, focusing on cornerstone stars. Organizational restructuring affects everything. Production timelines, retail allocations, marketing rollouts. Caitlin's shoe isn't just another release. It represents a strategic investment in women's basketball as a growth pillar that requires coordination across design, manufacturing, global distribution, and brand storytelling. One delay anywhere in that chain creates ripple effects everywhere else. Layer the strike uncertainty on top of corporate restructuring, and you have a perfect storm. Nike needs clarity. If the CBA is resolved quickly and the season is confirmed, they could compress the timeline and push for a late spring launch. It wouldn't be ideal, but it would be salvageable. If negotiations drag into March or April, a mid-season release becomes more realistic, June or July, with Clark debuting the shoe halfway through the year. The worst-case scenario? No season at all. A prolonged work stoppage would force Nike to rethink everything. By 2026, the rookie sensation narrative that fuels this launch loses some of its urgency. Cultural moments are time-sensitive. You can't pause them indefinitely and expect the same impact. That's what makes this situation so complicated. This shoe was supposed to celebrate momentum, Clark's record-breaking rookie year, and the league's surge in visibility. Instead, it has become entangled in broader structural questions about the WNBA's stability. Nike has navigated injuries and controversies before, but this isn't about one athlete. It's about uncertainty surrounding an entire league. The shoe will eventually release. Nike has invested too much to scrap it. But when it drops, and under what story, it depends entirely on what happens in the coming weeks. Until there's clarity, the most anticipated signature shoe in women's basketball remains in limbo, waiting for a season solid enough to stand on.